We all know Boston's a big sports town where fans at the games wear the colors of Team Pride. But once again this year on Saturday night, you can also find a whole rainbow's worth of pride rooting for the New England Revolution at Gillette Stadium. To tell us his plan for Pride Night is a Jamaica Plain resident and philanthropy coordinator for the fan group known as the Midnight Riders. We'd like to welcome Adam Sell. Thank you very much for being with us, Adam.
Thanks for having me.
For people who don't follow this as closely as you do, tell me the history of the Riders, because it goes back even further than the Revolution, right?
Yes, it does. The Midnight Riders were created in 1995 before the league began. The Revolution date back to 1996. We're an organized fan supporters group that works with the fans of the team wherever they may be, here in New England, abroad, elsewhere in the United States, to make sure that they can stay connected to other fans of the team and to give back to the soccer community in whatever ways we can.
Well, what about Pride Night? When did that start exactly?
So the very first Pride Night at a Revolution game dates back about 5 years, a little more than 5 years now, and it was entirely a fan-created endeavor. It was through the Midnight Riders. And over the last few years, we've been working with the team to try to make Pride Night a functional part of their calendar, and we have. And now the Revolution are stepping up and taking some ownership of Pride Night. This is their second official Pride Night celebration this year on the 2nd, and we're glad to be, the progenitors of Pride Night here in Revolution history.
Well, I have to, ask you about the bigger backdrop here, because sports events are not exactly a bastion of inclusion, maybe until recently. But I guess you sort of, swimming a bit against the tide with an event like this.
A bit, and that's one of the reasons that we wanted to make Pride Night such a central part of our calendar as the Midnight Riders, and to try to work with the Revolution to make it a central part of theirs, because we know that there is such, to your point, a tide of antipathy against this particular community in the sports community. And we want to make sure that people are aware that, especially at Revolution games and within the Midnight Riders, that all fans are welcome. That is inclusive of anybody with different genders, different orientations. Everybody is welcome to come be a fan, and they will be supported and accepted with us here. So that's one of the reasons that we try to make this a more thorough and complete event every year.
Well, this is also about rapport between fans and the people on the field, and I guess there's going to be something going on in their part as well, too, right?
Absolutely. The Revolution are actually really stepping up this year. All of the players are going to be wearing jerseys with rainbow numbers on the back to show their support for Pride. The corner flags on the field will be in a rainbow pattern. The captain is going to be wearing a rainbow armband. A Pride-themed flag of New England, which is something that the Riders designed several years ago, is going to be flying above Gillette Stadium's lighthouse. And that's also going to be really cool to see that something that the Revolution designed specifically for Pride is going to be flying there above the stadium, where many, many thousands of people come every time.
This has been in news, and we're talking with Adam Sell about Pride Night at Gillette Stadium. Adam, the other thing about an event like this is that, people need access to sports events to network and enjoy the company of people. Talk about how important it is for the pride factor to come in here that you're working on.
I think it's important for marginalized groups within the broader soccer community to have the opportunity to come together and say, we exist, we are a part of the soccer community, we bring something to this community that other people may not, so let's celebrate the ways in which we're different and make sure that people are aware that, yes, we're here, we bring something, let's make sure that everybody celebrates it with us.
We should mention also, sports organizations, I guess there's a lesson here, because if you want people to come to your games, they got to feel like they're welcome. So talk about how the management has warmed to that.
Oh, absolutely. It's been great to see that the front office of the Revolution have been as receptive as they have been to the Pride Night planning that we've done over the last several years. And that actually leads into an extension of what we do for Pride. Not only are we doing something at the game, but the Midnight Riders, and for the last couple of years, the Revolution as well, march in the parade that happens this year on June 9th and every year in June, to help show the broader Boston community, yes, this is a place where fans who are part of the LGBT community can be themselves.
And of course, you'll see the T-shirts they're going to be wearing. Tell me a little about those T-shirts.
Well, the Midnight Riders have been selling T-shirts for a couple of years now to benefit an organization, Maine Transnet in New England, that works with the trans community. But the Revolution themselves are also going to be doing some Pride-specific stuff at the game this weekend and at the parade next weekend. I know that they're doing a limited edition run of scarves that are celebratory of the queer community. all fans welcome, I believe they say, with some Pride New England imagery. And I'm sure that they're going to be bringing some stuff with them to the parade. I am afraid they haven't filled me in on quite all of their plans on that side, though.
So if people want more details about the game on Saturday, what should they look for?
If they're interested in learning more about the Midnight Riders and their Pride planning, you can visit us at midnightriders.com. And if you want to learn more about how the Revolution are supporting the queer community, they're at revolutionsoccer.net.
Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
From the Midnight Riders, Adam Sell.